Breaking. The LeBron James free agency saga has taken a stunning turn. The player everyone ignored could be the reason a championship legend chooses Philadelphia, and the rest of the NBA is scrambling to respond.
But I will say a big factor here is Tyrese Maxi. I know that so much of the focus is on Jaylen Brown because that's how Philly got into this conversation. They traded for Jaylen Brown last week. But the reason I think he's seriously looking at Philadelphia is because of Tyrese Maxi. And that connection is with Clutch Sports, his agency that he is, basically a founder of alongside Rich Paul. It's the Tyrese Maxi connection that draws him in. That was the same thing with Anthony Davis that got Anthony Davis to the Lakers, and the reason that LeBron would have interest in playing with Anthony Davis if he were traded to the Golden State Warriors in the coming days. And this is not just a Clutch Sports thing. All of the top level agencies will have their clients work together. But this is a Tyrese Maxi thing. You would really want Tyrese Maxi sitting next to Bob Myers making the pitch, and I'm sure he has.
Yeah, and that's the
Look incredible. How are you doing, pal? LeBron James free agency is just your life now, because Kendrick Perkins told us that they've basically told him to sit in the room in which he has his camera set up because anything can happen at any time. How should we be viewing this? And inevitably, when does this wrap up, do you think?
Yeah, so first of all, drive by. We have so much that's happened in the NBA the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Better hurry
that's
up.
What we're saying.
Need a little bit of a break, so we have a lot to get to. But as far as LeBron James, I don't know if I'm waiting on bated breath right now or this week potentially. LeBron's got a string of events. He's got Fanatics Fest today. He's got some CNBC stuff. He's got Time 100. He's got multiple different podcast tapings and all this stuff. I don't know if I'm holding my breath for an announcement this week. But I think as we get into next week, I do think this process is getting closer and closer to the end here. LeBron James has all the information that he needs to make a decision. All the GMs, the owners, the presidents, they've all made their pitch through Rich Paul, his agent. They've even sent, Pat, interestingly enough, LeBron has had multiple different owners and GMs, about three to five, that have sent voice memos to him via Rich Paul. So they'll send it to Rich Paul, and then he'll send it to LeBron James. And so we're looking at a group of teams, the Cavs, the Heat, the Warriors, the Sixers, and the Timberwolves. But my feel, when I talk to teams around the league, when I really dig a little bit more on this situation, the focus is really on the top contending teams for this being the Cavaliers, the Heat, and the 76ers. And so now it's just up to LeBron James to make a decision. And we're now July 16th. We're 16 days into free agency. A little over 16 days after he let the Lakers know that he is bouncing, that he's going to leave the organization after 8 years. And we're all waiting for a decision, which for what would be a 24th historic campaign for LeBron James.
Okay, you left out the Golden State Warriors there, which he...
I don't think I did. Did I?
Yeah.
You did.
That's why we
Cavs, Heat, Warriors, Sixers.
Okay, that is what you said just now, yes. But just a few seconds ago, if we were to put the drive-by in reverse, let's pop that thing over here. You did say, okay, so that that was just an omission at the time, mistake, because that feels fun. The Golden State Warriors one feels like a lot of fun. Tyrese and LeBron are doing the Mind the Game podcast from Fanatics Fest. Everybody's there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Time 100 thing happening tonight.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Shams will be in the
baby
A lot happening in New York. Tyrese asked LeBron James if he had a decision for everyone. And LeBron said, we just talked about this in the back, which is probably don't bring it up. And then Halliburton says, okay, I'll leave it alone.
That's good.
Shout out to Tyrese bringing it up. Shout out to them figuring out this is
We got to give him credit. You got to at least ask the question.
Hey, good journalism, Tyrese.
The NBA world thought the LeBron James free agency story would be about one thing: legacy, money, championships, one final chapter. But now, a completely different name has entered the center of the storm. Not Jaylen Brown, not Stephen Curry, not even the biggest executives in basketball. Tyrese Maxi. The player many people overlooked could become the reason one of the greatest basketball players in history chooses Philadelphia over the rest of the league. Because behind all the rumors, behind all the meetings, behind all the powerful voices trying to recruit LeBron James, there is one relationship quietly changing the entire conversation. A connection built through trust. A connection built through influence. A connection that could determine where LeBron plays the next chapter of his legendary career. And that connection is Tyrese Maxi. Because while the NBA media has focused heavily on Philadelphia acquiring Jaylen Brown and creating a championship-level roster, the real reason LeBron could seriously consider the Sixers might not be the newest superstar addition. It might be the young guard already inside the building. And if that is true, the entire NBA free agency landscape is about to become even more unpredictable. Because sometimes the biggest moves in basketball are not made through contracts. They are made through relationships. And LeBron James has always understood that better than anyone. But why would Tyrese Maxi have this kind of influence over a player who has already achieved everything in basketball? To understand that, we have to look at the powerful connection behind the scenes. For weeks, the conversation surrounding LeBron James has been dominated by one question: which team can give him the best chance to win another championship? But NBA insiders believe another question might matter even more. Who does LeBron trust? And that is where Tyrese Maxi becomes a massive factor. Maxi is not just another player. He is connected to the same basketball world that has helped shape LeBron's career decisions. The connection comes through Clutch Sports, the agency co-founded by Rich Paul, one of the most powerful figures in basketball. And this is where history becomes extremely important. Because this is not the first time a relationship inside Clutch Sports has influenced a major NBA decision. The same type of connection played a role when Anthony Davis joined the Lakers. LeBron wanted to compete with elite talent. He wanted another star who understood winning. And that relationship helped create a championship partnership. Now the question around the league is, could Tyrese Maxi become the next player who helps convince LeBron James that Philadelphia is the right destination? Because imagine the pitch. Not just from executives, not just from ownership, but from someone inside the locker room. Someone LeBron respects. Someone who understands the pressure. Someone who can tell him, "Come here, we are ready to win." That type of message can be more powerful than any contract offer. And that is why teams around the league are paying attention. Because when LeBron James makes a decision, the basketball reasons matter. But the human reasons might matter even more. But Philadelphia is not the only team fighting for LeBron James. Behind the scenes, several contenders have already made their strongest moves. Right now, LeBron James holds the power. The entire league is waiting. According to the information surrounding this situation, LeBron has already received pitches from multiple organizations. Teams have gone directly through his agent, Rich Paul. And the process has been unusual. Multiple owners and general managers reportedly sent voice messages through Rich Paul. And those messages were then delivered directly to LeBron. Think about that. Some of the most powerful people in basketball were not making public statements. They were sending private messages, trying to convince one player, a player entering what could become his 24th NBA season, a player who has already won championships, a player who has nothing left to prove. The teams connected to the situation include the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. But around the league, the strongest focus appears to be on the teams with legitimate championship ambitions. The Cavaliers, the Heat, and the 76ers. Because at this stage of his career, LeBron is not simply searching for a destination. He is searching for meaning. A final challenge. A realistic championship opportunity. A place where his presence changes everything. And that is why every conversation matters.
Because one decision from LeBron James could completely reshape the NBA title race. But there is one team that creates the most excitement and the biggest questions. A team with a championship history, a superstar connection, and a dream scenario that refuses to disappear. When people discuss LeBron James joining another team, one name always creates a different level of excitement. The Golden State Warriors. And there was even a moment during discussion of the possible destinations where Golden State was accidentally left out. But that mistake revealed something important. Next offseason is key. People are still fascinated by the idea. Because LeBron and Golden State represent one of the greatest rivalries in NBA history. 4 straight NBA Finals. Historic battles. 2 generations of basketball greatness. And now, years later, the possibility of those forces joining together creates a basketball fantasy unlike anything we have seen. Imagine LeBron James and Stephen Curry on the same team. 2 players who defined an era. 2 players who changed how basketball is played. But the question remains, would the Warriors have enough? Would LeBron believe this roster can truly compete? Would Golden State be willing to make the moves necessary? Because at this stage, LeBron is not chasing attention. He is chasing another championship moment. And every contender must prove one thing, the best. Can you give LeBron a realistic path to victory? And while teams prepare their final arguments, LeBron himself recently created another viral moment involving the player at the center of this entire story. The timing could not have been more interesting. LeBron James and Tyrese Maxi were together during Fanatics Fest. The NBA world was watching. Everyone knew the question was coming. And Tyrese Maxi axed it. He directly brought up the decision everyone wanted answered. Where will LeBron James play next? But LeBron's reaction told the story. He acknowledged the question, then immediately suggested they had already discussed it privately. The message was clear. Not now. Not here. Not in this moment. But the fact that Maxi even asked the question created another wave of speculation. Because it showed something important. The relationship is real. The communication exists. And Philadelphia's biggest recruiting weapon might already be sitting next to LeBron James. Sometimes in free agency, the loudest voices are not the ones that matter. Sometimes the deciding factor is a conversation nobody sees. A private conversation. A trusted conversation. A conversation between players. Now, the NBA waits. 5 teams. 1 legend. 1 decision that could rewrite the balance of power. Because if LeBron James chooses Philadelphia, the story will not only be about Jaylen Brown. It will not only be about championship expectations. It will be about the unexpected force that helped make it happen. Tyrese Maxi. And that might be the twist nobody saw coming.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.